In this video, we will try to estimate Ayanokoji's IQ on a scale from as low as 60 all the way up to a remarkable 500. We will start low, trying to make sure Ayanokoji is not in the mentally disabled level, and then we will gradually build our way up to the high numbers. Let's kick off by looking at Episode 1, Season 1. First, we will try to make sure his IQ is above 60. In the class introduction round, we saw Ayanokoji introduce himself. It was a bit awkward, I admit, with them, but he successfully introduced himself to the class. Talking about his hobbies was a challenge for him though, but alright, let's say he passes for at least 60 IQ level. Now let's assess if he surpasses the average intelligence level. While chatting in the supermarket, Suzune awkwardly introduces herself to Ayanokoji. He remembers that Suzune Horikita's surname is the same as the student counselor, and he also recalls Kushida's name from the class introductions. Remembering people's names and other seemingly small details indicates at least a decent memory. Let's suggest this shows his IQ is at least 100. As odd as it might sound, I can assure you that most people wouldn't remember both names after hearing them just once in a casual setting. So, Ayanokoji is definitely not below average. Now going higher, in Episode 3, Ayanokoji refused to believe there was no way to save Sudoken from being expelled. Ayanokoji came up with a brilliant plan to save him, but to make it work, he first needed to have a deeply intellectual discussion with his teacher about the fairness of society, to gain rapport with her before he offered to bribe her with school points. Not only did this 15-year-old Ayanokoji understand that straight-up trying to bribe her wouldn't work, but he also knew exactly how to gain rapport and was able to have a mature discussion well beyond his chronological age. Not only that, with his razor-sharp memory, he remembered and utilized one of the school rules he learned in the first episode. Anything can be bought with points. So, he offered the teacher something that is hard for humans to refuse: money, and she accepted. This moment from Episode 3 demonstrates he has an IQ that is at least above 130, going even higher now. In Episode 3 of Season 2, Ayanokoji came up with a brilliant plan to lure every one of his school test group into mistakenly believing he is the VIP. To do this, not only did he invent a double phone swap strategy, hiding the involvement of Karuizawa, he also came up with a genius idea to bribe the school to allow for SIM swaps, so that when his group would see through the deception and call Ayanokoji's phone, it would be Karuizawa's phone going off without them realizing it was hers. Coming up with such a complicated plan of deception, including the technical element of the SIM swap and a contingency plan in case someone would call his phone during the meeting, is pure brilliant. It is fair to say his IQ is at least 150 for this. Before we continue, if you are enjoying this video, hit the like and subscribe button now. Going even higher still, in Season 2, Episode 6, there was an interesting standoff between Horikita against Kushida and Ryuin. Both sides slowly unraveled their strategies for deception they had used during the sports festival. At first, it seemed like Ryuin had successfully outsmarted Class D, until it became clear that Ayanokoji had anticipated their every move from the beginning and recorded Class C's tactical briefing before the sports festival. With the help of a spy from Class C, he blackmailed. This demonstrates highly advanced foresight, reasoning ability, and creativity. We will put Ayanokoji's minimum IQ at 170 for now. By the way, aren't you tired of just watching these videos about Ayanokoji, wishing you were like him, but not having a clear guidebook to do so? Look no further. I have expertly crafted my ebook, Maximum Potential, to be your guidebook to a sharper mind. It gives you 7 scientifically proven lifestyle methods to enhance your mental performance in a durable and consistent way. Catch your copy now by the link in the bio. And now, to go even further beyond, Season 1, Episode 12, Ayanokoji came up with a brilliant plan to win the school test. This plan needed lots of clever thinking, good planning skills, an excellent memory, being calm under pressure, being flexible, and understanding people very well. His incredible idea of an ability to think about what might happen in the future show he's really smart. How smart? Let's take a look and find out. Outsmarting the spy. Ayanokoji found out Ibuki was spying but decided not to tell everyone. Telling others would have been hard because they might not believe him. It also would have warned Ibuki and Class C that he was onto them. Instead, he acted like he didn't know about their spying plan. He even secretly broke Ibuki's camera to look like it was because of bad weather. Ibuki wanted to use this camera to take a picture of the leader card from Horikita, but now she had to try to take it without a picture, which Ayanokoji wanted. Understanding health, Ayanokoji thought Horikita would get more sick because of her illness, maybe something like malaria. He knows a lot about health, which he showed before when he talked about how pinching someone, Horikita episode 5, can help them focus. He planned to use Horikita getting more sick to his advantage by changing the class leader to himself. This may be other classes' plan fail because they mistakenly thought Ayanokoji was still the class leader and guessed wrong. They played right into Ayanokoji's hand. Clever thinking about the enemy's moves, Ayanokoji didn't believe Riwin, the leader of Class C, when he pretended to leave the island. Ayanokoji remembered that Riwin had a walkie-talkie and thought another one buried by Ibuki, which meant Riwin and Ibuki were still talking to each other. So he knew Riwin was still on the island. This also means Ayanokoji knew Riwin was still the class leader, because the only reason Riwin would go into hiding is to hide the fact that he is in fact still the class leader. Therefore, Ayanokoji was able to correctly guess him at the end of the test. However, we should consider that some of Ayanokoji's guesses are in fact just lucky. For example, even though Riwin and Ibuki both had a walkie-talkie, it doesn't necessarily mean she was using it to contact Riwin. For example, more Class C members could have had a walkie-talkie. There was no way that Ayanokoji could have known Ibuki and Riwin were the only ones. There was another spy of Class D infiltrating the Class B camp. He for sure would also have had a walkie-talkie. Therefore, it is not unreasonable to think that Ibuki was using her walkie-talkie to contact him, not Riwin. Also, the fact that Horikita became ill in the first place and was eligible for a leader change with pure luck. However, how Ayanokoji thought through everything and won the test was impressive. If he was a real person, he would be very famous for just this one test he did. Riwin summed up Ayanokoji's performance regarding this test excellently in episode 1 of the second season. I quote, "If I'm being honest, the way you guys won wasn't all that special when you understand how it works, but few people could have come up with it and execute it under those conditions." What Riwin meant is that Ayanokoji wasn't the genius, simply because of the complexity of the plan. The real genius lied in the fact that he came up with every step of the plan in real time as events on the island were unfolding, constantly changing and under extreme pressure, while not making any mistake from the process. I will leave it at that. And now, what you have all been waiting for, my conclusion on Ayanokoji's IQ. No human on this earth could match Ayanokoji in intellect. Ayanokoji is truly a once-in-a-thousand-years kind of genius, and no one currently alive holds a candle to him. My estimate of Ayanokoji's IQ is between 250 and 400. If you want to hear a specific guess, I will say 330. Between 250 and 400 is a wide range, and I specifically chose it to be so, because it is impossible to say just how high his IQ is. In the whole show, we have almost never seen any real mistakes he made in his judgment. We have never been confronted with clear limitations to his intellect. However, I would say it is unlikely to be any higher than 400. If you liked this video and want to see more, press like, subscribe, and hit the notification button while you are at it.